What's going on, everyone? In this episode, I want to talk about one of the most shocking stats about Americans. The other day on my channel, I posted a video about why I think everyone should live abroad at some point in their lives. I got a lot of reaction to this. A lot of people saying that they want to move abroad or that they want to travel more. This is awesome. As I started to look more into the numbers, I realized that only about 40% of Americans actually have a valid passport. Why is this? So you may be asking, where did I get these numbers from? Well, let's check it out. They're directly from the government itself. If you look here, the population estimate is around 323 million people. But then if you look on the State Department's website, it shows that 132 million passports were in circulation. That only leaves us at about 40% of the entire population. There are probably several reasons for this. However, I do think Americans should start traveling more. You get such a different broad perspective of the world and how to make your own life better by traveling and experiencing other cultures. Now let's go over some of the reasons why some people maybe choose to stay here in the United States. First of all, there's definitely some really nice things just to see here inside of our own country, right? We have beaches, mountains, plains, everything in between, right? Plus, our infrastructure is pretty good. You're able to get from point A to point B relatively easy. Also, it can be quite expensive to travel outside of the United States. You know, we are surrounded by two oceans on the sides, so that does make traveling to faraway destinations like Asia or Europe a little bit longer, a little bit pricier. However, once you get to these places, you'll see that it can be a lot cheaper to actually stay there. For example, it may cost you about $1,000 to $1,500 to fly to, say, Vietnam or Thailand or even Europe. But once you get there, you can find a lot cheaper ways to live. You know, you can find a hotel in Southeast Asia for $20 to $40 a night. You can find hostels in Europe. You can find trains that are super cheap to get around from country to country in Europe. So while it may cost a lot of money to originally get to that place, once you get there, there are a lot of things that you can do to really save money and kind of just work it out to help you travel more. I think another reason why Americans don't like to travel a lot is just because of the kind of work culture that we have. We're very, very focused on our work a lot, which is great. It's allowed our economy and our countries to really strive. However, we don't really get to enjoy life as much or choose the things that you might want to do. So rather than maybe taking your vacation to, say, Panama, you might go just to the mountains for the weekend with your family, or go somewhere a little quicker so that if you need to work or get something done that you won't be too far away from the office. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a workaholic. I love to work myself. But I do find that travel is just a necessity. First of all, to kind of rebalance your brain, get you back in a mindset, and also just to get you to be more creative. You're going to be around things that you've never seen before, so that's just going to force you to kind of put new ideas out forth and kind of develop your brain to change the way that you think about the world. Like I said, I think this is one of the most shocking stats that only 40% of Americans actually have a passport. I really hope that that number starts to get increased more and more and more. Airfare is so cheap nowadays. Traveling has become so easy, so much more convenient. So if you would like to travel, comment down below where you want to go. Give me a subscribe or a thumbs up if you like this video. See you next time.